Well, about 9 minutes past the hour here now on this CNN Saturday morning. Again, taking this half hour, dedicating it to one topic like we always do on Saturdays during this half hour. And we're talking about Arizona's controversial immigration bill, a bill that an injunction was issued this week by a judge that put a stop on parts, the most controversial parts of that bill, but some other parts did go into place. Well, law enforcement, citizens, just about everybody, even in the country, not just Arizona, kind of split on what to do with this bill. This hour, or this half hour, we're having some opposing views from law enforcement, the guys who are on the front lines there in Arizona who are responsible for protecting the citizens and enforcing law there. One of them is Sheriff Paul Babeu. He's of Pinal County. He is with us this morning, so we appreciate you getting up early here and being with
Absolutely.
us. You know, we talked at the top here. We know about the controversial things that were kind of cut out, or the injunction was put in place. The things that are now in place, what do you like now about this bill that went into play on Thursday?
TJ, well, you eliminate any sanctuary policies that a city or town could have, and that oftentimes was the case. And so now you have uniformity with all local officers and deputies. There's no longer a policy, say, a police chief could have that forbid their officers from calling the Border Patrol or ICE. So Pinal County, when I took over as sheriff, we were no longer a sanctuary county. So the law was really, even if the whole law made it through, there wouldn't really have been any change. So there's some good aspects that still made it through. It also criminalizes transporting, smuggling, illegals, or also picking them up for employment. So there are some additional positives that come out of it, but this is going to be a series of legal battles that'll go on for some time.
Well, Sheriff, you have kind of an interesting position here in that you disagree with what the judge did with her injunction this week on certain parts, but at the same time, the law itself, you wish you didn't have to pass one in the first place. Reconcile kind of those two views, if you will.
Well, in the end, the whole basis of President Obama and Eric Holder was the supremacy clause. They came in their brief, said inherently this is our job to enforce immigration law, and quite frankly, we couldn't agree more with them. We just wish that they would enforce the law and actually do their job, because 250,000 illegals that were apprehended here, the Border Patrol says that's just a reflection of 1 out of every 2.6. Many other people say it's far greater than that. So literally, imagine, if you will, we have 1 million people coming into the state of Arizona, and we don't even know who approximately 700,000 of them are. And but of that 250, we know 17% of them have a criminal record in our state.
Well, Sheriff, if you were writing, I don't know who has been or if they want your opinion or would be listening to you, but if they were listening right now, and if you had a chance to write that law in the state of Arizona, what would you put into it? What would you give law enforcement officers like yourself the power to do in that state that you don't have the power to do right now that would help you with your illegal immigration problem?
Well, if I had the power to talk to the president, I've tried to invite him out here to Pinal County to see for himself, separate and apart from all of his advisors, and I think he'd get a greater sense of literally the public safety issue, the threat, national security that we face as a nation, because they're not just Mexican nationals. A lot of people who do want to work here, although be it illegal. We have people from foreign countries, countries of interest, from nation states that do sponsor terrorism that are coming into the United States. So the border is not secured. And I think the president would really get to see 80 miles north of the border where my county is, every night we have armed gunmen that are transporting these drugs, foreign-born criminals. And the response was, a few months ago, was to put up billboard-sized signs warning our own citizens in America to stay out, danger. We have armed gunmen, smugglers in this area. This is not okay to have that happen in America. And to, Mr. President, not to sue us, we need your help. Because the next lawsuit, the Attorney General had said, is against my own deputies or an officer if they make a mistake or there's the accusation of racial profiling, and we know that accusation is going to come. So we have even established a legal defense fund at bordersheriffs.com to prepare for that lawsuit.
Well, Sheriff, last thing, and if you can quickly, because you kind of hit on it there at the end, are you finding that your officers are being even more careful about what they do and possibly are letting some things, some people even slip through the cracks because they're so scared they might get sued?
Well, to put it in perspective, over 200 of my full-time staff are Hispanic. And a quarter of our population in Pinal County is also Hispanic. We enforce the law. We profile criminal activity, not race, color, national origin. We could have never stopped somebody just because of the color of their skin. Yes, there is a fear among officers because there's been that warning. I've never seen this before, that literally our own government is saying that they're going to use now an officer. They're waiting, if this law is eventually enacted fully, they're waiting for an officer or a deputy to trip up or to make a mistake or the accusation to be made. And that's an awful position to put some of us in a job that's already very difficult.
Well, Sheriff, we know you guys, law enforcement around the country, have a tough jobs. We appreciate you guys out there in law enforcement and what you do, but you guys are put on two different sides of this issue, unfortunately, but still more legal wrangling to come. But Sheriff Babeu, we appreciate you being with us this morning. You enjoy the rest of your Saturday.
Thank you.